Hello, welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 334. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a talk episode where the tutors talk. Do you want to tell them what you're upset about?
Just looking at these fucking shelves behind us and to the side of us. There's like 20 shelves, and I get 1.5 of them. And I'm like, how is that fair? You know? Mm-hmm. How is that equitable?
I have more than you?
Well, we know that. Hoarder.
Collector.
I knew you were going to fucking say that. Yeah, you're going to collect your way to the fucking Strum burn house if I'm not careful.
No. No. I won't go that crazy.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Because there's already some Lego sets that are coming out that are like repeats. So like Hagrid's Hut behind here, they just like came out with a new one, and I'm just not even remotely interested in it because.
Thank God.
Yeah, I was like, I already have one. I don't need another newer Hagrid's Hut. So.
Good. Mm-hmm. We'll keep it that way. I like that.
And then the brickheads. I'll probably keep getting the brickheads, but those guys are so much smaller than these sets. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
At some point, I mean, I'll have to I will start selling the ones that are like worth it to sell.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. We're just chatting. Oh, sorry. Chat about we're coming up on the second best season of the year. Winter.
The least best season.
I'm going to be honest with you. My favorite season's fall. Second favorite season is spring. Third favorite is summer. Fourth favorite is winter. But we're coming up on, are we in fall?
I don't think technically yet.
It's middle of September.
Yeah.
I think it's middle of August every day.
Every year?
No, every day the last month.
Yeah, Shaun asked me today. He's like, is it September? And I said, we are over halfway through September. So
yeah,
yes.
That's fucked me up.
Yep.
So yeah, we're coming up. We're in fall or close to it, and then coming up on winter. And so we were just talking about, goddamn, prioritizing and what needs to be prioritized now, and then what should be prioritized this winter.
Yeah.
Just so, there's a lot of inside stuff that we want to get done, for the business, for our personal stuff, for the baby, things like that. And it's like, let's not even fuck around with any of it. Mm-hmm. That's inside stuff. Solely focus on everything we can outside.
Yeah.
Get that shit done. So then when winter comes, we're good to go.
Yeah, and we're not upset that we have to go do shit outside.
Right.
Like clean the garage.
Or yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think that, it's just something to think about, right? It's easy to just this needs to get done and do it. And then look and go, oh shit, that really wasn't a priority based on weather or based on time of year. And so we've got a few outdoor priorities that we have that will be pretty crucial to get done, so that we're able to...
Like a meal prep and a lot of things.
Right.
And just have a garage to park in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it'd be good. It'd be really good. Looking forward to it.
And setting, some of it too is setting ourselves up for easy spring as well. Because obviously come springtime, we will have another person to deal with.
Right.
So it's not going to be as easy to do things like put a border around a garden bed or... Yeah, so just a lot of that stuff.
Right.
So it's just a lot easier to do it now, before we have a baby, than after.
Right. I like it. Mm-hmm. Finishing up Strum. That'll be finished up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And that'll be good. That'll be hitting the market. Or photos Friday, so it'll be hitting the market next week. It's our last flip.
That we have right now, yeah.
that we have, which is wonderful. I'm so grateful. Flips obviously are our biggest profiting thing. Flips are the number one profiter for us, but I'm happy to not have any because now we've got a little bit of time and essentially the winter to put together new SOP. Our flip procedures are okay. I would say probably better than most. But golly, can we get it so much better?
Oh, so much better.
And so we're going to start adjusting how we're doing things. So we're going to make new SOPs. We're going to prioritize. We'll let you folks know some of the main things we're going to prioritize or we're going to change. We always get our guys in and just start cranking on inside. And we neglect the outside, and we really neglect landscaping. And if anybody knows anything about anything, curb appeal.
Yes.
So starting out, new SOP, the first thing we're going to be worried about when we're getting a new place is landscaping.
Unless if it's obviously winter and it's covered in snow. But if we can, like, this last one, though, there was so much stuff outside that we could have very easily thrown so much of that away. I mean, we did a lot of it right away.
This is the issue. I can rent a skid steer for the day for $300.
Yeah.
This place had so much garbage and so much stuff. I could have seriously, and so we acquired the property in April. I could have seriously drove around and just picked up buckets of shit and put them in dumpsters. We took out 8 30-yard dumpsters from this place. The whole back need to be leveled out, shit scooped up, picked out. If we would have done that right away in April, rented a skid steer, took one day. Then, a couple days later, then next day, plant grass seed, get it watering. The guys are there every day doing inside stuff so they can be watering the grass. They can put out the fucking sprinklers, water the grass. With the skid steer, I could have pulled out the rock garden so we could have fucking cleaned that up and mulched it and stuff. And so it's like there's things that we have neglected, and we've probably done, I don't know, I think we figured out we've done around 20 transactions or something flipping wise.
Yeah.
In 20 flips we need to, we've been cleaning up how we do things, but we need to clean it up more.
Yeah. I mean, because I think that was part of our issue. Our houses have always sold pretty well because the insides are very nice. Yeah. But there's so many times I think we could have gotten a little bit more, or it could have been more competitive for the buyers if we also would have the outside be as outstanding as our inside.
100%. One, some of the other things. So, boom, you got our landscaping. The second thing, is going to be whether we need a new roof or new siding, and cleaning up gutters if we need new gutters, whatever. So and windows. Yeah. Boom. So that's, we're talking exteriors next. If that stuff doesn't need to be done, we're pressure washing right away. Getting that done. Pressure washing, cleaning up the house, seeing where there's, discrepancies. Do we need windows wrapped? Do we need to paint windows? What do we got to do? And the thing is, how we're going to make the SOP is we're just going to have a big motherfucking checklist. Yeah. Whether the checklist is on our tablet or whether it's on just a printed out form, doesn't matter. Yeah. Big motherfucking checklist. Walk around the outside. Are we missing any corner? Is there any cracked siding? Is there any rotted siding? You know what I'm saying? Literally just going through the fucking, starting from the outside in. We so often do inside out. Go ahead.
Yeah. And actually scheduling the guys too of this is the outside stuff you're doing today. Not just leaving it for Brooke and I and Shaun to do at the very end of a project.
No, yeah. It's and so a couple things we do is we usually make a list and let the guys do what they do.
Yeah, no, they need to be told what to do.
Yep, can't happen anymore. We need to be we need to be disciplined and do things in a process. And doing that will really set us up for, for doing the inside and stuff. So just starting outside in, starting with the right foot. That's what we need to start doing. Making this winter, Sam will make a huge fucking checklist of everything you can think of, so we're not missing shit. And so that's kind of how we're going to clean things up. Go back through our list of subs, who does what, make sure that's all fucking updated, so that as soon as we get our next flip, we are going in and it's going to be fucking beautiful. Operating at the highest standard we can.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just like, Strum has probably been the worst. I think worse than the Elf ones, just in the amount of finish work that you and I have had to do.
Oh yeah, yep.
Shaun and I and Brooke, like, I would say like we're probably the cleanup crew is kind of the best term for it.
Cleanup crew and fucking eye for picking shit out.
Yeah. So, and this is something that Brooke and I have discussed too, is like her and I, and she wants me to do it more because I guess I didn't realize that my eyes are so much better than other people's.
Yeah.
But going through the projects more frequently. So then they always have a list of things that need to be worked on. So then I can add onto those lists of things. And so it's not like at the end of being like, okay, there's 5 divots in the wall and we have to patch those and we have to wait 24 hours so then we can paint them. And it's like, I know they already were patching stuff. So if they would have just looked a little bit harder and seen all the other patches, it could have all been done in one swoop.
Right.
And then touch of paints were already done, I think, twice.
Right.
So then that could have happened again as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so one of our things is like going to the projects more frequently, so then we don't have all these last minute things that stack up into 4 days worth of work.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's so many things that we can do better for our processes, be more efficient, make more money. I mean, the little simple things of like, at the end of every project, we need smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors and a fire extinguisher in the house. How the fuck do we ever miss that? You know what I'm saying? How come it's been multiple houses where we go in and we're like, where the fuck is this shit? You know? And so having, I guess, like, essentially it will be a review checklist.
Yeah,
you
basically.
Is everything done? Is everything here? Is, whatever. And what we will seriously be able to build off, like we got that document from Logan Rankin.
Yeah.
We'll have to have one a lot more in depth because our projects are so much bigger.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's essentially what you can go through and make your like to-do list with. And then going back through, that's what we can do to check everything off to make sure all the boxes were hit, make sure everything got done.
Yeah. And just having those two is just so nice because like right now, Shaun and I, with this Strum house, like we're looking at it and we're like, why didn't we get a new garage door? And like we're both just like, did we put on the list that we needed a new garage door?
Right.
Did we just think it wasn't that bad back then? So having those initial checklists too then allows us to go back and be like, okay, well, when we walked through, it apparently wasn't that bad.
Right.
So over the past 6 months, it must just have gotten worse through the wear and tear of us opening in whatever.
Or we didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
Because it was dark out or whatever. Who knows, right?
Yeah. But it's just nice to have those things to go look back on and be like, okay, like, did we think this or did we not? Instead of us questioning ourselves and being like, was someone just dumb and didn't like get it or whatever?
Right.
So it's just going to be something that's good for us too, to have all of that written down when we first walk through things.
Absolutely.
And I think now, one of the things we have changed, I think very, very recently, was testing all like the electrical and plumbing before we start the project. And I don't Well, we had to get an all new electrical panel for this one anyways, so I think it was all tested with them.
And then we tested everything too.
Did we?
Yeah, we switched. We test all electrical before we start, and we test all plumbing. Ran into a little hiccup.
Yeah.
We tested the plumbing, but we didn't know the plumbing in one spot didn't have a vent. Whoops.
Yep.
That, I'm going to be honest with you, that's not going to be, the chance of that being caught down the line is pretty low.
Yeah.
That's kind of a one-off, like, rut row situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, we test everything, make sure we know the circuits. One thing that we have to get better at doing, you're supposed to have your breaker panels labeled. And the thing is like our guys tested every circuit. So they knew where everything went to, and they only labeled half the box. So it's like...
So, and we do a pre-inspection for our houses, and that was one of our marks.
Yeah.
That was against us, was that it's not labeled.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I am shocked how few things came up in the inspection for this one.
That was really good. It was really good.
That is one thing I will say. I'm very proud of our team with this project compared to previous ones.
Oh, dude, they did a good job on like their... That's the thing. We've done over 20 reps.
Yeah.
This is one of the best ones we've done in terms of like guys fixing everything.
Mm-hmm. Like functionality wise, yeah.
Yep. Because yeah, it's one of the smallest reports we've gotten back.
Yeah.
So, and we can clean up some of that shit pretty good.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So, yeah, pretty happy about that. So I mean, yeah, the thing is, and that's something that, could be talked on too, is like, we review. Mm-hmm. We're getting better. We've done reps, but we are reviewing and going, okay, this is the best one. It was still ran like shit.
Yeah.
It was still shit. How could we make it a lot better? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, when you can look at something and go, damn, this is our best one, but it was shitty.
Yeah.
And just noticing that and seeing that. So, we're not going to worry about it right now because we've got way too much shit.
Yeah, way too many other projects and stuff to worry about.
Too many other projects, too many things that need to get done before winter and stuff. So we're not going to worry about that. But as soon as winter hits and we've gotten all the shit done we need to get done, and we've got some more office time.
Yeah.
That will be, I mean, your next job, your next big job.
Yeah, it'll be a perfect thing with just a baby sitting or sleeping in a bassinet and me just plucking away on my computer.
Right. So, yeah, I mean.
I've already chalked it up, by the way, that I'm really not going to get a maternity leave. It'll be a leave from the office.
Get a day or two.
Yeah, but it'll be me just like, Shaun, bring me those receipts home.
I mean, you're still going to be doing fucking payroll and receipts. There ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah.
You get a week respite max.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want a week respite.
Yeah, you won't get you probably, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what it'll be like.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it'll depend on what happens, but I don't want a week respite because I know what happens when I don't do it for 3 days. How bad it looks. So that's why I'm like, yeah. I don't want. Oh, especially after vacations. Oof, when I don't do it for 10 days.
Yikes!
It takes me a while.
Something else I was thinking about, guys. Really, I'm just filling this podcast so that in 3 months we're gonna come back to 334 and just do all this shit. And if anybody on here is a flipper. Listening to this is a flipper. I know there's probably a couple. Feel free to take anything we're saying, and hopefully it helps you.
Yeah.
Returns. If you've done a lot of volume, I guess what we have done is not a lot of volume, but if you've done a good amount of projects, and we've done a lot of we've done quite a bit of customer stuff, quite a bit of flips, a lot of rental shit, unit turnovers, things like that. Always returns. We've never fucking had a job where we don't have returns. Always have returns. So I want to make a return policy in a way that like Brooke can go, load up the truck, and maybe like if necessary, the smaller trailer, and how she knows to what cards to check, how to scan them, how to return them, everything. So at the end of every project, she just takes the truck, gets the returns, go return them, get the money back.
Yeah, the only issue with like this one is like, so now so many of those things are going to be past their 30, 60-day mark.
That we're going to have to get in-store credit.
We're going to have to get in-store credit.
Yeah. And so, I mean, part of the return policy could be, you know, when you're walking through and doing quality once a month.
Yeah.
Going, hey guys, what materials did we get that we didn't use? I need a pile of the materials we got and didn't use over here.
Yeah.
Boom. So you know, you could grab that and then Brooke can take them, whatever.
Because some of the stuff like because Brooke and I were actually talking about this today because there's so many things sitting around, and it's just like when we were done with lights, why didn't someone? Because we go to Menards almost every single day, so why didn't someone just take all the extra lights, go return them when they were gonna also go pick up stuff?
Dude, maybe that's part of the return policy. Maybe like you know, whoever the lead is on the project, they're the ones that bring it in.
Because
I returns.
Like, I mean, we did the really big return for Elf, and it takes so long. It takes long.
They need signatures. They need approvals because it's big. They're like, God damn it, guys.
And then we're like scanning everything to get the receipts for everything.
Dude, it's going to be worse. Strum's going to be worse.
I know it's going to be worse.
How good. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, I know. It's probably going to be something where like we'll tell Brooke to put it in the garage tomorrow. So then we can sort it all out into piles and have all the receipts like printed off or whatever.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's just going to be a disaster.
Yeah, you're definitely printing the receipts compared to scanning them there. So then you can just go, this is on this is on this on. Anyways, so yeah, it's just, guys, this is so important, you know, for your businesses and shit. And if you're working for someone, whatever, dude, the more you can just review how things went so that it gets easier, the more efficient we can be, the more money we can save, right? And so, like, I mean, perfect example today. The paint sprayer stayed at the place it was, even though we were done with the paint sprayer. It needs to be fucking rule. It needs to be law. If the tool is no longer needed at the project, it goes back to the shop that fucking day.
I was just thinking that too. I was like, we should have some of the stuff like even labeled like this is shop supplies and like this is trailer supplies.
That makes, yeah, because I mean, dude, even like
because that thing should have, I thought the same thing. I was like, this sprayer should have been back at the office immediately.
Right. Well, and like even the chop saw was down there, and I'm like, how the fuck we need this? Why is this down here? There's nothing that requires a chop saw.
Yeah.
You know, like, and there was so many things. There was actually multiple things like that. The green,
there was like 6 extension cords.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know, it's those things where it's like, if those things were brought back and put in the garage, because the guys go back to the shop a few times a week.
Yeah.
And so it's like if that shit was brought back to the shop few times a week and they put it back where it goes, easy, right? And so, you know, another thing is at the shop, getting everything in its spot, labeling everything so the guys know. Essentially, you check it in and you check it out. Because now we've got 16-foot trailer full of tools and materials. That is going to take over a full day
of sorting through,
going through, what are we doing with it, da-da-da. And one of the other things, guys, that's fucking, that, you know, we need to get better with too on these things is some of these projects we find things we can sell.
Yeah.
You know, this one, there's a lot of, more antique stuff, or not like antique, but a lot of like different type of candles. Like the person that had it was one of those lamp collector.
Oh yeah, there's tons of oil lamps.
Oil lamps.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's no reason in the last 5 months we didn't bring the oil lamps back, get them cleaned up, and just post on Facebook. What the fuck? Like, who can tell us what oil lamps are worth?
Yeah.
You know? And like, we've got cassette tapes, we've got CDs, you know, we've got these
VHSs,
things, VHSs.
yeah.
And I know the place that buys cassettes, CDs, and VHSs.
Yeah.
I know the place that buys them. They're in Rice Lake. How many times have we drove past Rice Lake? I was up in fucking Rice Lake last week.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm mad at myself because I'm like, why didn't I bring that stuff back at any point in the last 5 months? Why didn't I bring it back? Why didn't I clean it? And why didn't I set it at the door? So the next time I drove to Rice Lake, I just loaded it up and brought it there.
Yeah.
It's like, there's things like that now we have to go through and deal with 10 projects worth of shit.
Yeah, like our back shed is so fucked. And another issue too is like there's a lot of things that we do that we don't return because we're just like, we'll use it on the next project. We'll use it on the next project. Well, the next project has come and gone 5-6 times now, and we still haven't used some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's so much stuff back there that we don't even actually know what's fully back there.
Right. And another thing is, we've had like one of the main, like, we've got a brand new vanity, 36-inch vanity back there.
Yeah.
We've gone through the last 4 flips, the last 3 flips, 4, because the 4th one was what we got it for. The last 4 flips, we were not able to use this vanity for because it did not fit. And so it's like, we should have just returned that on that fucking 4 projects ago. When it didn't fit, we should have returned it that day when we went and got a new one.
And we didn't return it because it was, I think we'd have had to take a 25% hit.
No, we didn't return it because the guys threw away the box. They opened it up and threw away the box.
Yep, that's right.
So, like, when they opened it up, because that's also partially on us, because I made it a rule, when you get something back to the thing, if you're, like, as soon as it gets back, you open it up. Make sure it's not damaged. Most likely we're not installing it for a week or 2.
Right.
Open it up. I want to make sure nothing's damaged. So we made that a rule. And so because of that, they opened it up and made sure it wasn't damaged, but for whatever reason, it was the wrong size. I don't know how the fuck that got fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I don't know how it got fucked up. But so anyways, that's something like, hey, don't throw away any boxes through the whole fucking project until it's installed.
Yeah. The issue was that they set it aside to return it for the very end. And we were cleaning out the garage. I know what happened because I remember because I remember seeing the vanity or whatever, and then someone needed to spray paint a vent.
And they grabbed that cardboard.
So then it got tossed when we were cleaning out the garage because we're like, this is garbage.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But the guys didn't pack it back up in the box to have it ready for returns. Right. They just left the box. I think it was actually right next to it. And then, someone was like, I need to spray paint on something. And so grabbed it. And
So, yeah, I mean, there's so many things to just, reviewing that we can get better on. Because you guys, think about it this way. It might not sound like much. It's cute. It might not sound like much, but there's something that Sam brought up today. She ordered it. It was $30. That didn't get used. Okay. She went there, found it today. Saw it today, right?
No, I didn't actually. I couldn't find them today.
Oh, you can find it? Okay, so we gotta see.
We gotta find them.
They aren't installed. What she ordered isn't installed. So, like, they exist somewhere. They must be back at the shop.
It must be.
But it's $30, okay? Say we don't return that. Okay, it's $30, no big deal. Well, that vanity was $500.
Yeah.
And that's sitting back there. And I know we've got a fucking 100 plumbing fittings at anywhere from $3 to $7 a piece. So, I mean, now we're talking $1,230 or whatever, right? Like we're talking boom. And so
when you add all the stuff up that's in our shop, in our shed in the shop, it's a lot of money we've wasted. That's just sitting there.
Right. Where if we would have brought it back and returned it right away, been credited it. So it's just shit like that we really have to get, we have to get the SOPs in. We have to get disciplined with it. We have to hold the standard. We have to operate the company that way. We have to be doing like bi-weekly checkups at the projects. If it's a shorter project, weekly checkups. Like these things need to really be happening to make the company a lot more efficient, which will then in turn help us turn projects over faster.
Yeah.
Which, if we're turning them faster, holding them for a shorter period of time, we're not having as much holding costs, so we're making more money anyways. We're freeing up capital, allowing us to buy other projects or get into other projects, do more projects. So, like, we're really able to do a lot more. And the other thing I'll say about that, guys, is like if you think of opportunity cost, right? This is something huge. So let's say you bill out at $100 an hour, right? And this did not happen to us. This has happened in the past. Let's say that. This isn't the case, but we'll just use the paint sprayer. This isn't what happened to us this time, but this has happened to us in the past, okay? So we can bill out at $100 an hour. Okay? So if we have essentially, let's just say we've got between driving and whatever, pickup, cleanup, all that shit, we've got 7 hours of billable per guys a day. Okay? So let's say one guy has the potential to make us $700 a day.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, the paint sprayer's not there. So we got to pull one of those guys to drive down and pick up the sprayer and come back and then pick up, a couple other pieces of material while they're at it. Hour and a half. Let's just say it's a 2-hour ordeal.
Yeah.
2-hour ordeal. Okay. We just spent, let's just say we spent $50 an hour on that guy to go, right? So that's $50 because we're subbing them out. Let's just say $50 an hour each way. So boom. So that's $100 that just cost us, right? For him to drive down and grab that sprayer. And then we had to pay for gas, wear and tear on the vehicle, whatever. And then we also have the opportunity cost. So it's just not $100 we missed out on, right? It's not $100 we wasted for them to go get the sprayer. It's $100 we missed out on the sprayer, maybe $20 in gas, so we're at $120. It's also the $200 that they could have been earning us in opportunity cost. So by us forgetting a sprayer at a different job because we didn't have the policy to bring it back as soon as it's finished, we now lost out on $320.
Yeah.
That wasn't the exact case today, but we've had that case happen multiple times.
Yeah.
And when you start to add that up and look at that, that's not a good day.
No.
That's not a good day. And I mean, another way to look at this, and I've brought this up to the guys many times, we get charged based on hourly.
Yeah.
Or like we pay guys based on hourly for most of the stuff, okay? There's setup and takedown time, usually 15 to 30 minutes each time. So anywhere from a half hour to an hour a day. Well, if they're driving somewhere and you have that hour regardless, and they decide to work 3 hours, we get, for 3 hours of work, 3 hours of billable, we get hit with an hour unbillable.
Yeah.
Where if guys are going somewhere and they're working 8 to 10 hours a day, you get 7 to 9 billable with 1 throwaway.
Yeah.
And so when guys aren't putting in full days, it really affects the contract, the general contractor.
Yeah.
Really. Or it affects the employer, however you want to look at it. We happen to have mostly subs, but like if it's an employer, boy, you're affecting them a lot. The one thing I will say that's really good about employing people, they got a schedule, dude.
Yeah.
We can't, that's one thing with subcontractors that is very difficult, is we cannot set their hours. And that really does hurt us.
Yeah, it does.
Where if we have employees, you work 40 hours a week, dude. It don't fucking matter.
I will say the one nice thing about our subcontractors, though, is like, if you tell them, like, okay, these are the things we need to get done today, like, they'll generally be there until those things get done.
Right.
So, like, if you plan it right and you can make it so there's 7 or 8 hours, then it's, like, perfect. But if they, like, finish early and you don't give them another task right away, whoosh, they're gone.
Well, and that's something where, our planning and our management needs to get a lot better is, when we have these lists of everything we need to do, whoever's the leader on site, like if it's Kyle on site leading, he needs to go, guys, we need to get this done today. When that's done, we can dip. So let's get these fucking things done. And if we're done by 2, awesome. If it takes us till 6, well, fuck. And boom. So I mean, if you start taking, if you take and lay it out for the guys, this is what needs to get accomplished, and you can break a project down by steps to accomplishing to have an idea. I'm cool with guys doing shorter days, because some days are going to be longer, based on shit getting done. But
or if they want to do the full day, asking
another task.
Yeah, starting on the next one or something.
Yep. And then obviously,
because there's not too many tasks that we do that you can't just stop and start the next day.
Right. But there's things and we've went through this with the guys before. If you lay out with the guys and you go, hey, we need to get these 4 tasks done today, right? And the reason you set up those 4 tasks is because the 5th task on the list is going to take 4 hours to do, and that's unreasonable, right? And because so many times it'll get to 2:30 in the day, and the guys will be like, we're not digging into this guy, because as soon as we dig in, we're into it for 4 hours, and we're not working till 7 or 6:37. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, if you break it down by, hey, we'll get this much done. If you guys want to get into it, knowing that you might be here till 6, 7, okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we got this shit done. It's 2:00, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think stuff you're absolutely right. Those things will be really good to do, and it'll all come down to how we structure and manage the subs.
My other thing that I thought about today too was our profits on our houses aren't really true profits. Because so I started an inventory system for our supplies at the garage. It got thrown out the window real fast because we had people come and just take stuff.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I was just just had started, so I was in the middle of it. So it's not like it was complete anyways. But there is quite often that we'll take stuff from the office of stuff we've had before
And not charge for it.
and we don't charge for it.
Yep.
So that is one issue I was thinking today, because there was that box of light switches, and I was I know this box of light switches came from the office because the picture on it is the wrong color, but the label's the correct color. So I knew exactly that it came from the office, and I was man, that really sucks, because I think it was this one. Actually, there might have been for the past couple. There's quite a bit of stuff in the job trailers, in the shop, that just get taken, come and go.
Yep.
That we don't charge for.
That's one thing I'll say is
Which, I mean, most of them are light switches and covers, and those are what, 50 cents a piece?
yeah.
Yeah. But still, I mean, there's other things. We have lots of vent covers, which those are, I think, $10 a piece sometimes. Those we've kept and I think have reused. A lot of the stuff that we try to reuse is for rentals.
Yeah.
But our rental season is done. So, yeah, we got to keep track of that somehow.
That's one thing I'll say that's different with like electricians and plumbers compared to contractors. When we have like people come in and do plumbing stuff, there will literally be broken down
A list of materials.
a list of all the materials they use down to like 39 cents for, you know what I'm saying? And they'll just like, boom, here's the list of shit, boom. And it's like, what the fuck? But I'm sure that's their inventory list.
Yeah.
If they go through and they go, you know, whatever, a 90, a P-trap, you know, whatever, and they list them all out, well, now they know for their inventory, we need another 90, we need another P-trap, you know, whatever. We need 2 more shutoffs. And so it makes a lot of sense. Where if we did the same thing and we're like fucking 4 2x4s, you know, 3 sheets of sheetrock, you know, whatever, a bucket of mud, dude, and we did that whole thing, we would know what the hell we need to make sure we're charging for, or like that would be what we're charging for. But then we would know like, fuck, we got to make sure we replenish the stock of shit. We got to make sure we got some 2x4s on hand, have some piece of sheetrock, you know.
Yeah, another like issue that we've also had though is like a lot of times the guys are just like, well, we're already going to Menards, so we might as well just get more of what we have instead of using what we already own.
Right.
And just like, I get it. Like, if you're not going to be at the office, it does just make, like, it saves a little bit of time to just go to Menards if you have to go to Menards already.
Right. Yep.
But now we're having things just sit in the office that we shouldn't have anyways sit there. Yep. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I guess it makes sense for other workplaces because like they have job vans or trucks or trailers or whatever that go back to the shop every single day.
Yep.
And ours don't.
No. Which it doesn't need to. It just needs to every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had like a set list of what everything was in the trailer, so then like on Fridays we could go through and be like, okay, like they used one of these. They used one of these.
Well, they would have to check it out as they go out.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be the only way. Because we couldn't just look through bins and know, like, oh, man, we're 5 switches short.
Well, if we like had like a set number every time.
Yeah, but that's a lot of stuff for us to dig through.
Yeah, that's true.
Compared to if the guys had a sheet and they just tallied every time they grabbed something.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of supplies that are actually in there at all times.
No. Nope, not a crazy amount of stuff.
And I wouldn't keep track of screws and nails and all that shit. Fuck no. Would you?
I wouldn't, you know, you don't necessarily have to, but you have to have it like at least if it runs out. So like, like you got to have them there, like drywall, construction, the different sizes, like fucking check it if we need a box of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Cause, you know, it's, dude, straight up, I've had it where I've gotten a call, can you bring 3-inch deck screws? And I'm just like, yeah, I can. Mm-hmm. We ran out of deck screws. Fuck me. Mm-hmm. You know, or like, hey, we need a box of construction screws. And I'm like, yup. Like, how many times were we at Menards this week? Mm-hmm. So it's things like that, like, I mean, if we're down to a quarter box of construction screws, just get another one.
Mm-hmm. And then
put
you
it
can
in the fucking trailer.
And then you can pour that box probably in the rest of the other box. Yep. Yeah.
So it's just shit like that. I think it's pretty crucial. I think like the thing is, the more we go through this shit, the better. Yeah. I know that like I talked to I bought something, my dump trailer, and I talked to a landscaping crew. That was eye-opening. Mm-hmm. Every morning, the owner, who is the project manager, was at the shop making sure the trailers and trucks were ready for the crew at 5:30 every day. Was he done every day at 2 p.m.? Or how the project manager rolled was he was done every day at like, he usually, I think he said he left for like the middle portion of the day and came back at like 5. Or or 4 o'clock for an hour to like just recap with the guys or whatever. And so essentially his day was heavy in the morning, heavy in the morning, nothing during the day, medium afternoon, and that's how the guy rolled.
Yeah.
And so every morning he'd get there, make sure the trailers and trucks are ready for the guys, make sure they knew what they were doing, go over everything with the foremans, what the projects are, what they need, what to expect, send them off.
Yeah.
And then clean shit up, prep, whatever. Take off, come back, go over with the guys what got done, what didn't, what needs to be done the next day. So he knows what he's got to prep the trailers for the next morning. So.
Yeah, that'd just be nice because, I mean, we've noticed, like, there's so many things that I don't know if they get missed or if it's just, like, our guys just don't communicate things at all. And so much of it is, I think, if, like, one of us was there to, like, be with them at the end of the project to be like, okay, like what kind of hiccups did you run into? What materials do you need for finishing? Blah, 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 whatever. Because, like, a lot of times they just, like, at least towards us, they're just, like, silent. And then we find out at the very end, oh, by the way, this, and this. Okay, well, why didn't you tell us this earlier when we could have fixed it
right
earlier?
No, absolutely. And so going right off of that then is if like for our roles, because we're on projects usually for a few weeks, it's not prepping everything in the morning and the afternoon. It's going over a project with the foreman, then the foreman giving an update to the project manager at the end of every day, list of stuff they need, or even they can fucking order it.
Yeah.
Or whatever, however it is, but like updating the project manager every day, where things are at, how things are going, what materials they need for the next day, if they need any equipment, if they need extra help, how far out they are from finishing a thing, so that the project manager knows when other subs need to be, scheduled in and stuff. And so, I really think in our line of work, if you have really good foremans to relay the shit to the project manager, it will make that would, if we had foremans updating us every day of how it went, where things are, what's needed the next day, without us having to ask.
Yeah.
Brother. Talking about making life easier.
Oh, so much easier.
Everything sped up. Don't have to think about it. Boom, boom, boom. Anyhow. Anything else?
I don't know. I think that's it.
This probably should have been a fucking tutor episode.
Probably. But.
Maybe Sunday will be a talk episode.
Maybe Sunday will be more of a talk episode, yeah.
All right, gang. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you learned something. And make sure to review your businesses, your operations, your procedures and shit like that to make sure that you're operating at the best level you can.
Honestly, you can do that in your home life too. Shaun and I were Shaun and I were actually just discussing today about how we haven't been like slacking on our meal prepping, but we just lately haven't been thinking about dinner because we meal prep our breakfast and our lunches every day, but we usually do something like fresh for dinner every single night. We
were in this rut 2.5 years ago at Robin Road. This is the first time it's happened since then. Go ahead, keep going.
And like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think that's kind of what kicked it off even worse. Was like, it was like every single night we had something. So we were like, well, we're gonna be at Whiskeria, so we might as well eat there. We're gonna be here, so we might as well eat here. And like, so when you get off track, it's easy to get off track. But then like this week, we just didn't take out any extra food for any of our dinners. So every night we're just like, well, nothing's taken out, so I guess we have to go get something.
Yeah.
So like that's one thing like we were just thinking about today and reviewing today, and we're just like, okay, this is how we're gonna fix it. We're gonna, on Sundays, we're gonna decide what we're gonna have every single night for dinner, so then we know like when and what to take out.
Right.
So then it's ready for our dinners. So yeah, you can do the same thing in your own life. I think honestly, probably one of the things I was thinking today was like, it was kind of nice that you and I just like took 20 minutes to go through all of our Instagram stuff that things. And it was just like nice because it was just like, okay, we're both going to do this for 20 minutes. Done.
Yep.
So it was just like a nice, like unplanned thing that I was just like, I'm kind of fine with us just doing this every night.
Right.
And then we don't have to like check it throughout the day or in the morning or whatever. Like we just know, okay, at 6:00 after we feed Mimi, we'll be on our phones for 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then did we go on a W after that? Or was that before that?
That was before that. And then I just started working then.
Yeah. So yeah. So definitely take a lot of these concepts and things and apply it to your home life.
Dude, which was super nice because then I didn't go on my phone at all.
Like this today or this afternoon?
No, like this afternoon, like once, because I went through and I just got rid of all my like notifications through the day.
Mm-hmm.
Not because today I wasn't on my phone at all because we were working.
Yeah.
But then so tonight just knocked out all my notifications. Then I just like set my phone down, knocked out a bunch of work in 20 minutes, and I was like, whoa. Because usually during the day when I'm trying to do work like that, my phone will buzz, so I'll grab it and check a notification.
Yeah.
And it just fucks everything up.
Yep.
Where like no one's bothering me at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And so I checked out my notifications, set my phone down. My phone didn't buzz at all. Knocked out fucking...
It was more than 20 minutes. It was quite a bit of work.
Well, usually, what usually takes me like an hour to do, I knocked out in 20 minutes. I was like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Zero distraction.
Yeah.
Just boom, work.
Yeah, because I was showering.
You were showering, Mimi was walking around the yard, and fucking no notifications.
Yeah.
Bam. I was like, geez, that's wild.
Yeah, just experiment with things and, yeah, start changing things for the better, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Well, that's what I got.
All right, gang. Catch you on the next one.
See ya.